Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 13 of albums that are 50 years old in 2024. That's right, we're celebrating 1974 each and every day here in the month of January 2024, looking back 50 years to some greats, our 31 favorite albums released across all genres 50 years ago, back in 1974. Today, we're going to take a look for pick number 13. This is the sixth solo album, guess you can call it a solo album, from this particular gentleman. Was released March 22nd, 1974. Recorded at Electric Lady Studios in New York City, as well as Bullock Sound in Inglewood, California. Paramount Recording Studios in Hollywood, California. Produced by the man himself for Discreet Records. I'm talking about Frank Zappa's Apostrophe. Yes, indeed. There's me. Yeah, at the time, one of his more popular albums ever, and I think a perennial favorite all these years later. An album that really kind of blended his kind of humorous lyrical imagery with serious jazz fusion and progressive rock arrangements, right? And of course, he had the band to back it up. This is, in my opinion, one of his great bands ever. Frank himself on vocals, guitar, bass, right? Sal Marquez on trumpet, Ian Underwood on saxophone, Napoleon Murphy Brock on saxophone, Bruce Fowler trombone, Tom Fowler bass guitar, Don Sugarcane Harris on violin, as well as Jean-Luc Ponty on violin, Ruth Underwood, the great Ruth Underwood on percussion and vibraphone, George Duke on keyboards, Tony Duran rhythm guitar, Harper May on bass guitar, Alex Dmachowski, otherwise known as Erroneous, on bass guitar. Jack Bruce plays a little bass on title track. Ralph Humphrey, a little bit of drums. Johnny Guerin, a little bit of drums. Ansley Dunbar, a little bit of drums. And Jim Gordon, a little bit of drums. They had a lot of people playing on this, and a whole host of backing singers, which I'm not going to get into. But yeah, fun album. And a very brief album, right? Was this basically just over 30 minutes long, I believe, something like that. A lot of little short songs and some little longer pieces. Watch out where the Huskies go. Don't you eat that yellow snow. Don't eat the yellow snow is the kickoff track. Very fun song, right? Of course, then you got Nanook Rubs It. Nanook, Nanook. Such a fun album. And I love, especially on side one, all the tracks just kind of bleed right into each other. You got St. Alfonso's Pancake Breakfast. Fun song. Father Oblivion. Excellent. Cosmic Debris. Love Cosmic Debris. So good. Great guitar solo in that. Great guitar solo throughout this album, actually. And then over on side two, you got the excellent Extrafugal Force. Title track Apostrophe. Like I said, it's just basically like a near 6-minute long jam. It's funny, you read some of the information on that song and how both Frank Zappa and Jack Bruce have different memories of what actually happened during that session. So, as Frank tells it, I'm kind of inclined to believe Frank, because Frank is always a straight edge guy, right? Jack Bruce had all sorts of drug and alcohol issues during this period, so who are you going to believe here? But as Frank tells it, Jim Gordon, who was close friends with Jack, brought him into the studio, and basically they just did a jam, and Jack played bass on it, and Frank wasn't all too happy with his playing, because he's like, Jack is just really busy bass player, and he doesn't know a lot of the intricacies of kind of music theory and whatnot, not really in the same headspace as I was. And then you read about what Jack said about this session is like, I just was kind of there, and I didn't really like any of the stuff that Frank does. I really wasn't really interested in the song or jamming, but I had a electric cello, and I basically just played that little burst in the beginning, and that's all I did, and the whole thing was just terrible. So I don't know. I kind of believe Frank, because I've always gotten the impression from Frank that he had a very good memory, and because he was such a straight and narrow guy, he remembered everything to a T. So, but regardless, Apostrophe, fun song. Uncle Remus up next, another great one, and then of course Stinkfoot, one of my favorites on the album. Just a whole bunch of classics on this. And there's Frank with his SG guitar, right? Yeah, just tremendous album. This is one of a string of really tremendous albums for me, and some of my favorites in his entire catalog. Let's see, charting positions. United States, this made it to number 10 on the Billboard charts. Like I said, this was his highest charting album and biggest seller at the time. Australia made it to number 71. Right, so pretty good. So yeah, here just a little bit more. Apostrophe remains Zappa's most commercially successful album in the United States. It was certified gold by the RIAA in 1976, peaked at number 10. It's pretty good, pretty good. And then, of course, before Overnight Sensation, and you had One Size Fits All. To me, three tremendous, tremendous albums in his career. And as far as singles, Cosmic Debris was released this year, as well as Don't Eat the Yellow Snow, both released as singles. I remember way back in the day when I was much younger, listening to kind of like classic rock or just FM rock radio at the time. I would hear Don't Eat the Yellow Snow occasionally on radio, but it wasn't until Valley Girl that Frank Zappa got much of any radio play, to my memory, to my recollection, on like FM rock radio or FM classic rock radio. And, to this day, if you listen to classic rock radio, which I don't listen to much at all, but occasionally I do, I don't hear any Zappa at all. I don't even hear Valley Girl anymore. So, yeah, it's a shame, because I think he had various songs that, could have been potential for that format, but wasn't really meant to be. Anyway, let us know what you think of Apostrophe down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today, pick number 13. And visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, down there, in the video description, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, and our Cameo page. Thank you in advance for all your support there. It's always greatly appreciated. And we'll see you in just a few short hours for the UK Connection. Simon Bray, Stephen Reed, and myself will be up to no good once again. A very entertaining hour of programming where we talk about those albums that we love, that our significant others or family members or friends or colleagues can't stand, and when they hear us play them, they tell us to turn that shit off. Not always with a please either, right? That's coming up in just a little bit tomorrow. We've got Ranking the Albums. Grant Arthur is coming back once again. We are going to rank the catalog of the very cool California pop rock, soft rock, yacht rock band Pablo Cruz. You remember them? What you gonna do when she says goodbye? Bum, 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 bum. Yes, indeed. That band coming up tomorrow on Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the States. And we'll see you then for all this stuff. And, of course, our next pick number 14 of albums that are 50 years old in 2024, tomorrow morning. Till then, I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.